Wake up. Wake up. It's a No Fear Friday.
Welcome to No Fear Friday. Get your yop sticks out where we're getting ready to shout our barbaric yop and punch the enemy square in the face.
Let's go. See you on the other side. A little dad rock to start off. No Fear Friday, man. Why do they call it dad rock? It's just good music. It's the right music. It's the right music.
I think every generation has thought that.
I just can't wait till this generation's like grandmas and grandpas, and they're turning on their.
What are they going to turn on? Rap?
Yeah, I don't know. Drake or whoever they listen to.
Whatever.
Every year, or every generation, it gets a little more ludicrous what that generation will listen to when they're older. It's just strange. It's hard to picture. Like you picture the people in the 20s and 30s, that music works fine no matter really what age you are.
Yeah, but for the generations after that, like immediately after that, they're like, "Oh, that's dad music."
No, I saw the commercial the other day. They're like classic rock, and I'm like, yeah, classic rock, like Leonard Skinner and all that stuff. It's classic rock, right? No, it's not.
No.
It was the 90s stuff, right? That's whack, man. That's whack. It's not West Side, it's whack. We're going to today.
Welcome to Coffee and Confessions.
What are we doing? Oh, it's a Comment Friday. And so,
yes.
If you're new today, we've got the name of the show.
If you're new today, I'm sorry.
Is that it's no problem for your God. That's right. I'm going to talk to you about whatever you're going through. Doesn't matter. No problem for God. That's the idea you got to have. You got to almost be flippant about it. Like, this thing's so nothing.
Yeah,
this thing's so easy for God.
It's a lifestyle.
We'll talk about that in a minute. But we always encourage our viewers to comment and be interactive.
Yeah.
That helps the show travel further and be a blessing to someone else. So anytime you can get in and comment. Of course, you could always put your name in the comments where you're watching from, and we'll shout you out on Tuesdays. But we like to read our comments, some of our comments on Friday. Amen? Let's do it.
Catherine says, I'm from Living Word Scottsdale. Yeah. Great to hear from Pastor Mark.
Nice. Let's go. Elizabeth said, love this message today, y'all. Thank you for reminding me that I need to see visuals of my goals and what I'm standing in prayer for in front of me. Take time to make a vision board. That's something you love. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Kat said the mountains will move. I am unsure when, but they will move. Everything in God's time, not my time. I stand on his promises.
All the way through.
That's right.
I always say if you go down believing. Mm-hmm. It's just a better way to live it either way. But he will come through for you.
That's right.
Amen. Tamara said, oh, wow, God is using you all to drive this word home today. The word in the Bible app is Matthew 21:21, which also tells us that if we have faith, God will move the mountain. Amen. Thank you, pastors. Awesome, Tamara.
Cyborgs for Christ, yop is my new battle cry. Be on fire for your God. May your coffee be hot always and your faith be strong. I love it.
Cool. Is that it? I think that's about it. No, yeah, it is. Let's go into our
that should be our new
word
motto.
of the day. I was going to say our psalm of the day.
Or psalm.
Yeah. Go right ahead.
Psalm 113 verses 4-6. This is in the Message version. God is higher than anything and anyone, outshining everything you can see in the skies. Who can compare with God, our God, so majestically enthroned, surveying his magnificent heavens and earth? You know, God's higher than anything and anyone. He's bigger.
Even this microphone.
He's bigger than the microphone. He's bigger than any obstacle we go through. He's bigger than any battle we're in the middle of. He's bigger than anything that the enemy can throw at us. So certainly, whatever we go through or are going through or will go through,
yes,
we know we're going to go through something at some point. God's bigger.
He's bigger. I love to, when I pray for people come with large things sometimes that they need prayer for. A report of cancer, a wayward son or daughter, a marriage that's in shambles, right, huge financial struggles. And I love to minimize whatever their problem is. Not because I don't think that I'm not empathizing,
Right.
but because in comparison to their God and what God can do, it's nothing. And I love to say, hey, that's no problem for God.
Right.
Like, that's not an issue. It's so much smaller than you think it is. Sometimes all we can see, though, is the issue. All we can see is the mountain. It's like they say, all you can see is the forest besides the trees or whatever.
Right.
I just slaughtered that saying. I forget what it is.
You all know.
You know what we're saying.
Yeah.
You're so close to the issue, you
Right.
just can't see that you're in a forest. You're like, it's always this way. And no, there's a clearing coming, and your God's leading you to it. And so that's what we've got to understand, that he's greater and that he always will be.
Yeah.
What he's delivered you from in the past, the same thing he'll deliver you from. And if,
Right.
I found I always had the faith to believe at the beginning of my walk with Christ. He would answer quickly. And then over time, I would see, not that he purposefully delayed, but sometimes the challenges became a little bigger. And so I had to mature and grow in my faith. And really, when you grow in your faith, you're growing in your perspectives about what the enemy sends your way, and your perspectives about who God is and what he looks like. Because if we really had the right view of God, anything that came our way, we'd just be like, it's no problem.
Right.
It's not a problem.
Right.
I'm serious. You should live with almost a flippant attitude that this is no problem for God. I don't know how, but it doesn't matter. It's not a problem.
Right. I love the perspectives idea because, when we're looking, we love to hike. We love to, we're not like the crazy, like cliff hikers. We're like the trail hikers. Anyways.
We like the trail.
There's, but there's certain mountains, from a distance. When you're looking at a mountain from a distance, you're like, I can climb that. That's easy.
Yeah, I'll go right up there real quick.
I'll go right up there.
I've done that before.
But especially Camelback Mountain. Anyways, but you get up right on it and you're like, okay, it's a little bit bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Now you're looking up and you're like, I don't know if I could do it, but it's the perspective.
Yes.
From that distance, you've got the confidence and you've got the what is that? What is that word I'm looking for? Other than the unction. Yeah. You're like, I can conquer that. But when it's right there in front of our face, sometimes it's, it feels overwhelming. It feels defeating. And that's what the enemy likes to do. He likes to, get the mountain right up in our face and say, yeah, now what are you going to do? What's your God going to do? It's too big. It's too big for you. It's too big for your God. There's no way. You can't even see the top of it. And he tries to defeat us. And a lot of times what happens is we quit.
Yeah.
And the only way that the enemy can stop us from fulfilling our God-given destiny, our purpose in life, is to cause us to quit.
And for me, it's like stepping out to do anything in ministry or maybe in business or maybe in anything that really you want to see fruit in.
Right.
We've never stepped out to do anything where it was fully resourced before we stepped out to do it. That's not faith then. You're not walking by faith if you see it. But when you step out to do the things God's calls you to do, and you don't see it at first, but you move forward and your attitude is, it's no problem. God's going to do this. He's called me out, so I'm going to go. I don't know how I'm going to stay afloat, but God's going to do it. And you just keep moving. And you don't realize sometimes sometimes you've been going up the mountain and you don't even realize it. All of a sudden you're like, I'm over this thing. Like I've just been following God and saying yes.
Yeah.
And he's just been taking me from victory, from mountaintop to mountaintop. Yeah, there's some valleys you walk through for a minute. But remember this, you're always, even when you're patient, you're still progressing. So there's faith and patience, but you got to realize that you're still moving forward even when you're being patient.
Right.
Patience is progressive. It's not passive.
Yeah. That reminded me of the story of David and Goliath. Was it Dave and the Giant Pickle? If you're familiar with VeggieTales, Dave and the Giant Pickle. But, David and Goliath, when David was just being faithful with the tasks that his dad gave him, that his father gave him, and his task at hand seemed minimal. It seemed mundane. It was literally just to bring some sandwiches to his brothers who were in some cheese in battle. Some of them didn't. They were they didn't want cheese on their sandwich. But anyways, point being, it was just a mundane. And a lot of times we look at mundane tasks as not being progressive in our destiny, not being progressive in conquering the mountain ahead of us, not being progressive. But God he'll use the
doing something in me,
mundane,
man.
he'll use the mundane tasks, or what we see as mundane tasks, to usher us into our destiny. And that's what we see with David and Goliath. If David hadn't been faithful, he wouldn't have been in position to step into that
It's great. It's great.
that battle. And his
That's-
attitude when he stepped into the battle, he didn't know.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
he just knew who his God was. He just knew that God was greater. And why are we looking at this giant, this obstacle, in such a fearful manner? Have we forgotten how powerful and how great our God is? Have we forgotten who God is? And he didn't know. He didn't, come with his slingshot ready. He didn't have his stones in his pocket. He wasn't prepared for the battle in his own.
Amen.
But when he went up there, God led him, and he led him, and he took the things that David had already in him, his past experiences, and equipped David right there, and was able to conquer that
Such a good
mountain.
word. So the depression is no problem for God. The addiction is no problem for God. The debt is no problem for God. The cancer is no problem for God.
Right.
You say, man, you're just being flippant about it. No, I'm not. I understand that. That's a statement of fact. It's not a problem for God. He can take care of it and will take care of it if you trust him to do it.
Exactly.
He's doing something in you, and he's doing something in your situation. Stay the course and keep your eyes on the Lord. He'll take you there. Let's do our confessions together. God is greater than my struggles right now. He will deliver me. I count on him. Amen. Let's say it together.
God is greater than my struggles right now.
He will deliver me. I count on him. Amen. Today I choose to focus on the size and strength of my God in comparison to the obstacles I'm up against. If he did it before, he will do it again. Ready?
Today I choose to focus on the size and strength of my God in comparison to the obstacles I'm up against. If he did it before, he will do it again. That's right.
Come on out to Living Word Gilbert in downtown Gilbert, just south there on Gilbert Road. If you're in the East Valley area of Arizona, no matter where you are though this weekend, y'all need to get to church.
In church, that's right. And if you are watching, make sure you subscribe. Let us know who you are and where you're watching, and get your comments in. We'll shout you out throughout the week. We love you all. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.